So this is, as you've probably guessed, really not a good thing to be happening at all. So algae blooms, such as that one in the video I'm stitching, are when a certain type of algae just take over a body of water, usually like a lake or a pond or something, and just absolutely take over everything. And this is really not good for multiple reasons. First off, it's largely a death sentence for literally everything in the lake, be that other plants, fish, potentially birds, any frogs and turtles and insects and anything in there, they're probably going to die. That is due to a couple different factors. One of them, it's being the algae is so thick that it just clogs up everything. The second being it competes and often outcompetes other plants for nutrient, or okay, algae aren't plants, but it outcompetes other photosynthesizers for nutrients, taking all the nutrients from the water, as well as forming a thick mat over the top of the lakes, and therefore blocking any and all sunshine from getting into the lake. So things like other natural algae or seaweed or any other plants in there, they cannot get any sunlight to do their own photosynthesis. So the algae bloom is getting a fuck ton of sunlight and going absolutely bonkers, and the actual plants that are supposed to be in there are getting zilch. And then that leads to there being no food for any of the animals that depend on that. Again, the turtles, the fish, the insects, the frogs, all of that. They do not have any food because most of the time they cannot eat the algae. Additionally, all of the algae is using up all of the oxygen in the water, so there's no oxygen for fish or water-breathing insects or water-breathing amphibians, so they all suffocate. That's great! And finally, lots of algae like this are what are called cyanobacteria, and those bacteria release something called cyanotoxin, which is a toxin that is produced by the cyanobacteria. It's all in the name. But that is not great either. So cyanotoxin is released as the algae cells die off and then they're decomposed and stuff, and then more algae blooms and it goes on, and the algae bloom continues, but there are algae cells dying and releasing the cyanotoxin, which can just outright kill animals, including if humans drink or swim in or are exposed to that water for any extended period of time. It can have serious health effects. Probably not killing you unless you are drinking it extensively, but it can cause some problems. So algae blooms like this are caused by a multitude of different things. Sometimes it can be triggered by climate change, but a common one is by the use of chemical fertilizers that get washed off of crops and run into the body of water, therefore causing a boom of nutrients that the algae takes full advantage of and just outcompetes absolutely everything because they're using all the nutrients from these fertilizers, and then their population just goes absolutely fucking bonkers. So, yeah, this is not good.